State your name for the record.
Jin Urso.
Forgery of imperial documents, possession of stolen property, aggravated assault, resisting arrest. Can you be trusted without your shackles?
Yes, sir. With Jin, Gareth and I both felt that it was very important that we found her humanity and her vulnerability. Everyone should relate to her. The rebellion have found her a little bit difficult, but they need something very specific from her.
When was the last time you were in contact with your father?
It appears he is critical to the development of this super weapon.
Jin is, at least to the eyes of Cassian, a troublemaker. But then he witnesses that she's a real hero and willing to risk everything.
If my father built it,
We'll find him and bring him back.
Felicity brings a level of strength that always keeps you on your toes. You want her to win.
oh my God, this is Star Wars. This is insane. An experience that I will never, ever forget. May the Force be with us.
We all grew up with Star Wars, and I never imagined for 1 minute that I would ever work on a Star Wars production. My role on Rogue One is an opportunity to be able to develop techniques, get better at it, not only in the way that we make things, but hopefully more successfully creatively, in such a way so that it feels as Star Wars as it can possibly be.
The creatures are amazing. Their eyes blink and move, and their lips have a very subtle expression.
You'll look up and one of the creatures is a huge monkey shooting this enormous gun out of the plane. And then you remember, oh, we're actually in Star Wars.
I love apes and monkeys in general, and I love space. So when you combine the two and have a space monkey, it's kind of a dream come true. You've got to remind yourself that every single day is an amazing thing, no matter what you're doing. We just happen to be running around with robots and creatures and stuff. Nice to meet you.
These characters, this story I grew up with, it's like I've been preparing my whole life for this. If you're really doing this, I want to help. It's challenging because one day you're doing a very emotional scene, but the next day you're beating some stormtroopers. It's fun. It has a little bit of everything. Here's the Maldives. We are in a deserted island. We're doing battles and running and chasing, and we're just living the experience.
There is a 97.6% chance of failure.
He means well. You know, it's a true adventure, and you're enjoying the ride in a galaxy far, far away.
If I'd known since I was 4 that I was going to be shooting a Star Wars film, I would have planned it all my life.
This film, these characters, this story I grew up with. It's a whole world I've been thinking about for quite a long time.
You can feel everyone in the crew and the cast kind of stops and just takes that in, and you remember, oh, we're actually in Star Wars.
It's like the world's greatest toy set. It's a bit like being that kid again. With Star Wars figures. Stormtroopers over here, and then this happens, there's an explosion. It's been a lot of fun. It's the greatest job in the world. Rogue One takes place very close to episode 4. The simplest way to explain it is that text you see at the beginning of A New Hope. That is essentially our movie.
They call it the Death Star. Terrible weapon. But there's a way to defeat it.
Jin's starting to put together a team.
She wants to fight.
We all do.
How many do we need?
It is an ensemble movie, but at the heart of it is a strong woman.
The time to fight is now.
Every day they grow stronger.
All these characters are real heroes that are willing to risk everything.
Light the place up and make 10 men feel like 100. through their journey, we see the formation of the Rebel Alliance and the stealing of the Death Star plans.
Anyone not willing to risk being left behind? Now's your chance to speak up.
That is a bad idea.
Hey,
Quiet. They achieve what they achieve because they achieve it together.
This is Rogue One.
It's like the fantasy you always have as a kid. Everywhere is an amazing shot with amazing characters.
It's about the humanity of it, which just makes the whole thing so real.
Ready, and action!
Your heart's beating and you're actually in this situation. You get something very genuine that you couldn't have planned.
You'll actually compose shots that if we were on a green screen set, you just wouldn't have known were available.
Pressure's so high. Like, we're making a film that's right touching my favourite movie of all time. But then if you're too respectful of it, that you daren't do anything new or different, take a risk, then what are you bringing to the table?
X-Wing!
X-Wing! Kills the attack down there! Bang!
I mean, this is really where a film crew like this really comes into their own. That kid, when you were 4 years old, grew up with Star Wars figures, it's a bit like just being that kid again. You're sort of going like, "Arr, arr, arr."
May the Force be with us.